Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Ordinal ecosystem. We have a great weekend update for you guys today. Every weekend, we gotta go through the markets, get you guys all caught up on anything you missed from that week. We have a really good update today, and we got not a lot going on. I feel like last Wednesday, if you haven't watched that yet, go watch that. There's a lot of stuff into that, and we'll probably get into some of that as well. The weekend's really quiet, but we have a really good update for you guys today. Let's just hop into it. Let me bring in my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What is up? What is up?
Good. Yeah, how you doing today? So Spaces today was really short because of the Goosenal space that was followed afterwards. So the Spaces was you know kind of low key today.
Yeah, but that's fine. I think it was a good opportunity to take advantage of being able to bridge the Chinese and English speaking ordinals communities gap. I know that there will never be a time to where it's like you obviously understand what they say and vice versa, but like if there's more of these spaces that there's people that are heavily involved on both sides, and that's what we're starting to see, like Jeffrey from Recursive Verse. I mean, like he's super like on the English speaking side and obviously like really big on the Chinese speaking side. So this will bridge the gaps and you'll feel more unity, I think, for certain projects that people are getting behind, right?
100%. Yep.
So yeah, so that's fine. But in plus inscribing Amsterdam took a lot, in my opinion, of like the bigger, players out of spaces this weekend in terms of being over there and getting involved in what's going on over there, which is pretty interesting and big.
Yeah, definitely. Want to get right into that with the Eric Snowden stuff.
No, yeah, Edward Snowden. And so like
Edward Snowden.
yeah. So pretty cool. You can see here that he was a guest speaker. I think he was streaming. But you could see that on Trevor's Twitter account, he posted Edward Snowden said he's bullish on Bitcoin ordinals as uncensorable media at Bitcoin Amsterdam. Freedom fighters are literally using ordinals for this purpose. Laser eye maxis down bad. So pretty cool post there by Trevor. And I think that it's really cool that someone like Edward Snowden is bullish on ordinals because it speaks to the power of Bitcoin decentralization, right?
Yeah.
Obviously that's one of the reasons why he doesn't live in the United States is he was a whistleblower for certain situations and he reported on it. And so with Bitcoin ordinals, you don't have to like be known as a source, right? Like you just inscribe the information, people can research it, and then if it's true, it actually gives a big platform for truth, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree, and like it's perfect for something that he like did. Like he could open up a new wallet, right? Send that wallet a little bit of Bitcoin, inscribe some type of message in there, and then just give away the inscription number so everyone can see it. Like, hey, check this out. And it's a new way to decentralize. It cannot be taken down. Once it is inscribed in that block, it'll be in that block on every explorer, right? So it's just every indexer that does ordinals, you'll be able to see that. So it's immutable. It's there forever, and it's like perfect for stuff that for like whistleblowing. It's absolutely perfect for it, which is kind of scary as in the space because like they could fud the crap out of it, but at the end of the day, like that's what this is. You can't stop it. So
Yeah, exactly. And for people who are already thinking about like, okay, they can still track because he has to get the Bitcoin from a centralized exchange and all this stuff. Well, not every centralized exchange, especially if you're not living in the United States, KYCs, right?
Yep.
So, there's that. And then also he could pay cash for Bitcoin. He could, buy a ledger that already has Bitcoin loaded on it. And, there's no way to track that really, right? And so, really would have to get down to the IP address, and then even then you could just go to some
VPN.
exactly, VPN or some other like just PC cafe or something in another country and do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, So that's big. That makes me more bullish, even more bullish on Bitcoin as a use case. And yeah, other than that, really, the other news coming out of inscribing Amsterdam has just really been kind of like the reception of the hosts. And you know, I did hear Nikib from Ordzar speak about how people are minting or inscribe or purchasing, sorry, Skelly unis, which is a project by Mr. J from the base community. Shout out to the base community. Shout out to Mr. J and Nikib. But that's cool, because I know that like that project hasn't really taken off too much, and people are inscribing it there, and a lot of the people that are there, they have money, and so you have to buy those expensive airplane tickets and the tickets for the
Yeah.
event, hotels and stuff. So it's really cool that they're like really receiving Ordzar and the Keeb and everybody with like kind of open arms, it seems.
100%. Yeah, I agree. It's really early as well. Like everything, yeah, everything that they're doing is very in the early stages, and it's really cool that they're getting this much attention. I mean, I hear Orzard all the time. You know what I mean? And like not even like a couple months ago, you never even heard of it. So it's now one of the when you speak of Magic Eden or launch pads for that matter, you got to put Orzard up there.
Yeah, it's definitely
So
getting more exposure, deservedly so. And so we'll see what happens, right? We'll see how they grow with their marketing approach and all that good stuff. Yeah, and the inscribing Amsterdam is also early. Like I think it's like in maybe like the second day or third day or something.
yeah, it's one
Second
of
day.
those. It's
Yeah.
yeah. So we should definitely get some news from there. I'm curious if you've seen anything, if there's like a link or something to see these conferences. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe we can do that eventually too. Figure out ways to show these conferences live or something. So
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely in the game plan. And I do believe there is a website that will list out these. I don't know off the top of my head, but we can
yeah,
reach out to some people and
yeah,
get
yeah,
that.
definitely.
But yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on with inscribing Amsterdam. The more of these conferences, these type conferences, though, more ordinal conferences, the more bullish
Yeah,
I am, right? Like, because this is not, you're not seeing like conferences all the time with different chains. I mean, the big ones, yes, like that are established since 2013, 14, like XRP obviously has like
yeah,
conventions consistently. Bitcoin has theirs. Ethereum, I'm not so sure. Maybe it's because we're not in those spaces as much anymore. But
yeah. Well,
definitely,
Ethereum has ETH Denver every year.
yeah.
That's their big one. But yeah,
Gotcha, gotcha. Cool. Yeah, so we'll keep our eyes out for that. One thing I did was this week I posted. I like to post polls. I feel like it's really good for interaction with the community, and been getting some good results with them. Pretty good activity, and you can see here. Let me pull it up. Okay, so my poll question was, what ordinals play is the most overlooked? And 237 people
wow.
voted. Yeah. So out of the 237 people, bitmaps definitely took the cake at 46.4%. Second place came in BRC 20s. This one shocked me, to be honest, because there's been a lot of news about BRC 20s.
Hmm.
And but maybe they feel like they're overlooked because there's a large portion of the ordinal space that doesn't care for them, right?
Yeah,
But again, like we cover BRC 20s every show, so I was shocked to see that. And then third place came Rare Sats at 16%, which was really close with 15% of sub 100K inscriptions. So other than bitmaps, man, that like there wasn't one that just got like completely demolished, like less than 5%. So that makes me really bullish on all of these narratives because people care about all of them, it seems. And if you think about them from breaking them down, they all have really big potential.
yeah, for sure. No, I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, with the bitmaps being at 46.4%, I think one of the biggest things that I brought up was, hey, look, there's still only 811,000 bitmaps in circulation, which is the same amount as uncommon sats. But uncommon sats are priced, I think the floor is at like $100, right?
Yeah,
So if it has the same supply and bitmaps are at like what right now? Probably like $8.
Still $6.
Okay, so like that blows my mind, right? But at the same
Yeah,
time, it's like, what's the narrative behind bitmaps, right? And what's the narrative behind rare sats?
yeah,
Rare sats obviously has rare sats in the name, rare, and
yep,
so
yep,
um, I do think that uncommons are priced appropriately, in my opinion. 811,000
yep,
total. If you look at a circulating supply, but bitmaps, in my opinion, are not priced accordingly. They're very, very, very underpriced, in my opinion.
yeah,
Now, there was some feedback in here in the comments that said, bitmaps needs that immersive merging event to where like everybody feels like they're in the same room, basically, right? If you hold like 800,000 bitmap or, bitmap number 100. And I agree with that. I think that is what the change is going to be. So it seems like recursive verse is doing something right now, which I think they're, in my opinion, if I had to put like money on the roulette table, I would
yeah,
probably put my chips on recursive verse, because they're the ones that I think he dedicated like his whole team to it now. And so they're doing this merge event that I think I saw
yeah,
you commented on, right?
yeah, 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 yep.
Do you know anything
So
about
it,
that?
it really hasn't been announced yet. From my understanding, it's still like they still didn't say what it is going to be yet. I mean, am I wrong with that or
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard too much about it. I just like I'm obviously speculating right off the bat. Like
yeah,
this is seems to be some sort of like um ecosystem connection type event to where like I kind of like what I just said, like where
yeah,
people feel like, okay, I feel like I'm in the same realm as everybody that owns a bitmap right now, you know?
yep, hmm,
And I think that everybody has accepted bitmap theory as a theory because it makes so much sense logically with all the arbitrary data and all that stuff. But like that last connection piece of the puzzle needs to come together. And I think when that happens, then you'll see a lot of these applications becoming more useful and more
yeah.
convenient, right? And when that happens, I think the price of the bitmap will be correlated to the circulation at that point. In the it will be more, appropriate than what it is now.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and especially when they tokenize it. You have Bison Labs wanting to tokenize the bitmaps and stuff, and there's only 800. I know there'll probably be like 800K, 850K by that time for this year, I think, right? Maybe 900K by next year, and no, for a few years, right? So I mean, that's less than a million, and they tokenize that. I mean, easily double in price. Like it has to be not financial advice, but like I mean, just trading, just locking them up in an LP pool where locking these bitmap tokens, right? As like borrow and lending. You can borrow against it, so or it's like 100 of them or whatever. So I don't know. I'm a huge fan of this tokenizing process, and I think that might be a really good idea for other projects to kind of take that idea and run with it as well. Like,
Yeah.
like maybe if for Uniset, like it's probably not hard for them when you bridge into their module to let you bridge in some random bitmaps and you get some bitmap tokens. But I think I'm so bullish on that. But that's not even including what with the other people are doing, like Inscribe and so many others, and Recursiverse are doing with the actual bitmaps themselves. And who knows how many different projects like the IMSO Chris type stuff going to come. And people build on that using bitmaps as well. So it's
Yeah.
very it's the future is so large for bitmaps, and yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes. But I on that poll, I also voted bitmaps. I think they are the highest ceiling to me.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy because like you think about it, like we pay our cell phone subscriptions every month and they're expensive, but like we pay for Netflix, all these
Yep.
subscriptions, like in even your vehicle registration. So I
Yeah.
always feel like this is kind of simple, similar to that, right? Like, why do I have to pay my vehicle registration? It's because so the government can kind of track you. Now,
Yeah.
with this, it's not for people to necessarily track you personally, but it's so you have your space within this ecosystem. But instead
Yep.
of reoccurring payments on it. You pay for it once you own the asset. Now that is an asset that you own, right? And then
Yep.
now, like, so, paying $8 now for it, I think makes a lot of sense, or $6 versus having to pay whatever it is down the road whenever the ecosystem's fully built out and you're you want to pay for it at that point because you want to be a part of whatever application you want to use within the system, you know.
I agree. Yeah.
So definitely pretty cool. Or like good opportunity in my opinion. I would still so I think the most upside is definitely bitmaps. I'm still super bullish on the rare stats because I think they bring that extra layer of value.
Yeah.
BRC20 is obviously with the swap near, that's going to be huge. And then sub 100K, sub 100K to me has been really kind of pushed a little bit. Do you feel like it's kind of lost a little bit of steam after the whole inscription thing,
Yeah,
numbers
it
thing?
did. But like it's one of those things too where you won't see a lot of volume with that because they're just so expensive.
In this bear
And
market?
it's bear market, so it's like and they're hard to sell. So it's you're not gonna get a lot of attention with them. They're gonna be kinda like your, your mansion houses, these are and then bitmaps and stuff like that will be like your little townhomes and stuff where it's like, yeah, to get a you gotta find the right buyer to get a sale for the 100K while the bitmaps and stuff, they get hundreds of buys every single day, so
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Yeah, so that was interesting data from the community. And one thing that let's see if I can find it right here. I'm going to show this. Right here, you can see Lazy Ninja, our boy. He's been in the community, OG Ordinals guy. He said clearly the polls tell you the most overlooked one with the least votes, which kind of makes sense, right? It's
Yeah,
like, which is sub 100K. It like
yeah.
makes sense if you think about it. It's like I feel like he just reverse psychology to everybody. He's like, well, if you think about it, the one that gets the least amount of votes is probably the most overlooked, which people are voting for the ones they like, probably.
Yeah. But
So
overlooked, you can't get a sub 100K with like for less than like $200, right?
yeah, so
So
that's
it's
why
like,
it's overlooked.
yeah, because people don't want to give up their satoshis right now. They don't want to give up their Bitcoin right now. So it's like buying a $6 bitmap or 10 $6 bitmaps is a lot easier than spending $250 on number 973 that looks like a shit picture of something. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. Um, all right.
yeah, man. I want to get into something really quickly. We didn't talk about this, but it's just something that popped in my head, and I think we should really talk about it for a second. The BRC20 deployer bot.
Oh no, get that FUD out of here. No, I'm just
So
kidding.
I think we should talk about it
Yeah,
because it kind of goes into my legacy theory of the BRC20s. It kind of makes that point for me again.
I'm
So
ready.
so what happened was some laser-eyed maxi kind of came out and created this bot that say you wanted to deploy a token that's not already out, which is going to be rare because 90% of the four digits are already out. But if you wanted something, he was putting in more gas than you to symbolize it, and basically paying more gas for it, and then taking your four-letter digit word and making it a one, and then minting out that one thing. So if you wanted, let's just say BBCC, he would jump in front of you, get BBCC, change the amount from what you had a million to one. So now you cannot ever use that ticker ever again. What's your opinion on this?
So this is the actual guy.
Yeah.
He's actually into ordinals. I think he's the guy who inscribed Dick Butt.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I believe. I could be wrong. But anyway, so yeah, so he anyways, so yeah, so he's the guy. I think his name is Ringe Dale or whatever. But anyways, he's always in those spaces with Trevor and them too. So the what he did was you broke it down. He does outbid you, and he sets the max supply to one, so you can't have more than one token. So you're never gonna have people that mint out the token that
Yeah.
he deployed, or he actually deploys it. So my thoughts on this is a way to slow down the degens because they know that the swap is coming,
Yeah.
right? Block actually posted about this, and he beat him. He
Yeah.
beat the bot. So there's ways around it, but you do
Well,
have
he
to
paid
increase.
$50 for the
Yeah, you
deployment.
do, you
So
do have to increase the deployment cost. So that's the way around it, and you might not beat them. Like so you have to really increase it because at the end of the day, the goal is probably to exhaust the bot's wallet, right? Because
yeah.
at the end of the day, like how much does he really have in there, right?
Yeah.
if he's beating you, he's probably paying like, I don't know, $10, $15. You're probably trying to pay like $3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not going to pay
Yeah.
$50 every time. I'll
No.
tell you that for sure. Because
Because if he
then,
does that, we can destroy him. We could
yeah,
just
exactly.
so
So
he has a
this
limit. You got to beat his limit.
exactly. And so this doesn't worry me. At first, it kind of did a little bit, just because it seems malicious. Like, he's obviously trying to deter stuff, but I think it's more about like making sure, like, once the swap goes live and there's a bunch of degeneracy happening. I think I made that word up, but they want, number one, they don't want the meme pool to like get clogged up, and like what happened back in May. Also,
Yeah.
like the whole thing with Sats, like if you launch something that has like quadrillions of supply, that's going to take forever. Um, and so to me, one of two ways things that this could do. For one, it could. I think degens that are going to try to deploy a crap coin, they'll pay $50 anyways.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, so it's really not going to slow down too much. It might slow down at first because they're going to be like, "What the heck is happening?" They won't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And to them, they'll be like, "Oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. This doesn't work," and it'll like
Yep.
discourage some people. But in the end, if it does make BRC20 more of like a legacy protocol, I don't know how I feel about that, because from what I heard from Uniswap, and still, and even Bison, Lee Bison, is that they're using modules, so they can technically like add another module for another protocol. So, and keep BRC20s on there. So maybe like the
Yeah.
legacy ones will stay, and then if that happens, I think the BRC20 value will jump up.
Yeah. I kind of like I kind of like this this what this bot is doing. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to cap the BRC20s now at whatever is out is out. You know what I mean? Like so basically if you wanted a token, right? There's already tons of tokens on the market, right?
Yeah,
So if I was if I was someone who wanted a token for my project, I would go buy something that looked okay, and then I could take a good share of it, right? It's real cheap, and I would go and I would like buy the entire floor. Let's just say there's a token called, I don't know, Frog that's on the market, and I was like, I want to take Frog, and somebody deployed it. It got minted out. It's sitting there. I can go buy up all the Frog and say, hey, and then say, hey, we're going to be using the Frog token as our token. So now it was a free mint. Everyone had a chance of it. This guy went and bought them off the secondary market. Cannot be clearly not a security, right? There's no chance that can be a security. So now they have their token. They have a good share of the portion, and now they can start doing what they wanted to do. So I love that idea of go find, if you want a token, don't deploy it, go find it,
yeah,
right?
that would
So
be. I mean, that'd be awesome if that's how it worked, because then
I
you're actually working for yourself and
yes,
building up equity and value of your project by your hard work and what
yes,
you're producing, right?
yep,
So let's say that like you bought up 70% of the tokens and 30% are holders.
yep,
That would be a little bit scary for the 30% holders, but at the same time, I don't think you're going to try to dump after working so hard, like the first time that things look like they're going up. Plus, you're going to increase, like you will make the token go up by buying 70%. So then, like, you will,
exactly.
yeah. If those people that don't believe in you are just there just to flip, then they'll get out real quick, anyways, which you probably
Yeah.
want, and then true believers will come in and start buying.
Exactly,
So
and potentially too, like so the those guys will probably, oh wow, that token's up 50%, and then boom, he puts out utility for it, right? And now he's like, hey guys, like this is going to be our token. We're taking over the Frog token, and you're going to be able to like whatever with it, right? But and that's kind of a thing too. So on the other side of that would be like these are just JSON files, right? You can't really do much with them, right? So if we just call them legacy tokens,
now,
like, yeah, but if we just call them legacy tokens and then just kind of, I mean, there's so many other protocols that are coming, right? There's, ARC20s, which is blowing my mind more and more every single day, every time I hear those guys speak. And then you got, the tap, and then you got, the runes and the pipe tokens and stuff. And it's like those seem to have more utility and stuff. So keeping these as legacy tokens gives them more of a more value to me, because it's like, what they are.
historic.
They're historic. They're the first, like there was never a protocol a non-fungible protocol or a fungible protocol like this. It was just like it was number one. So,
Yeah.
to me,
Well,
it's like it gives you reason to hold these things long term, just like you would hold, inscription, 71. The same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like Leonidas made a really good point whenever the whole runes discussion was happening. It was really heated back and forth. He said because I think Trevor Owens said something about well, maybe there'll be like a runes on like the runes will be stored in the upper turn. So it has like its space, and then also the BRC-20s will remain, on the ordinal side. And you just can have both coexist. And Leonidas was like, well, I mean, that just doesn't, it's not, you don't see that. Like on other chains, you don't see, once it got to ERC-20, that was it. Like there's no ERC-20 in terms of fungible tokens, right? There's no
Yeah,
ERC-20, and then there's no other like competing token on Ethereum. But again, I think maybe the perspective is that they wouldn't be like on the same protocol. So it could be like that runes or ARC-20 are the separate ecosystem environment, like, yeah, like Polygon, Chronos, all these other EVM chains, they're derivatives of, not derivatives, but they were born off, their tokens are born off of
yeah,
ERC-20, right? So
yeah.
CRC-20, PRC, whatever they are called. So I don't know. Maybe it could exist that way. But also there hasn't been anything like ordinals before. So
Never.
so maybe this is all new, and so maybe there is a way for these to coexist on different protocols, and they can complement each other. We'll have to
I
see.
think so. Yeah, I do. And like, gotta remember too is like the BRC-20s are the only ones that really run on the ordinal layer, right? Everything else is going to run on different layers. Whether it's the tap protocol, it's not on the same layer as the ordinals. The
It
the pipe.
is.
Well,
I believe it is on the same as the ordinal layer. So the
yeah.
way that the way that they described it is BRC-20s is a meta protocol on top of a meta protocol.
Okay.
So like that's how Tap would be too, though, because Tap is a meta
Yeah, yeah,
protocol as
you're right.
well.
Yeah.
So they're separate meta protocols that are on top of the
Gotcha.
ordinal. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the one that's separate completely would be runes, ARC-20, and
Yeah.
pipe, which are
Yeah.
stored in the op return. So they are separate, but they
Yeah.
are still, I believe, meta protocols. So I don't know, like they we'll just kind of have to see how everything transacts with all those that we just named transacts with Bitcoin layer one. Like
Yeah.
that's what gets confirmed, right? It gets
Yeah.
confirmed with layer one. So when we start talking about outside of layer one, we're talking about like the Uniswap swap. So that swap does,
Yeah.
and then also Bison swaps with the ZK rollups.
Yeah, which was it's gonna kind of still be a bridge in, bridge out, while BRC-20s and Tap are not bridge in, bridge out, right? You can
Yeah,
easily just
exactly.
write on the thing. So I think again, going back to that, it's like, they have value because they're first is first, and there's never been a first is first thing in the chain. Like that is our thing, over here in
That
Ordinal.
is
So I
crazy.
think,
I never thought about that.
yep,
Except for like I guess like project value. Like in terms of
yeah.
NFTs,
Well,
like the earlier ones were just they built up more, but yeah, you're
but
right.
over
In terms of
here,
a system, there's never been.
no, first is first. And, so it's that. And again, that's why I consider BRC-20s as legacy tokens. And I would love for that to kind of catch on. And because I feel like that gives it value, and that gives it that prestige of that is why you hold them. The same reason why you hold inscription number 400, you know?
Yeah.
So that's
So
just me.
really quick, the deployer bot, you bullish or bearish on it?
I love it. I do. I love it. I think because right now all the shit that's getting deployed anyway is money sign, three letters,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
money
true.
sign BT. Like it's everything we need is already there. The legacy is built. It's we know what we have. I'm not buying uppercase, at, you know what I mean, two letters and then a BT. Like I don't care
Yeah.
if that's your project. That's ass. Like go find something that's already out, buy up a portion of it, and make that your token, like.
Yeah.
So, but
Same same
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, same thing with me. I was initially bearish on it, but I definitely feel what you're saying, and I came around to being like, okay, this could be a good thing. So,
Yeah, I think it's a really good thing. So
yep. All right. So this is another new thing that's came into the space.
yep,
It's called BitVM. So if you've been in DeFi, you know that VM stands for virtual machine.
yeah.
Why is it not showing though? Give me 1 second. That was
Yeah,
weird.
so this is something that dropped last week, and Bob Bodley actually like it was. I didn't even see it yet, and Bob was already like doing his thing, which is pretty cool. So
Oh yeah. So like we all love Mattyverse. Like he's like great at what he does, breaking stuff down, and he
yeah,
breaks stuff down for like a simple level. I feel like he breaks it down for the everyday normie to understand. Bob is kind of like that level up where he does
yeah, I
what
know.
Mattyverse does, except for like the technical people, right? Like and so
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
when people are that are devs and stuff, they're just like they listen to Bob because he's like breaking it down. So this is really
yeah,
cool. Okay, so this is the BVM bit virtual machine in 4 slides. It's supposed to explain to us. So let's read this. So think of a box that solves any math problem. That's BitVM for Bitcoin. Okay, so really simple there. BitVM takes problem solving logic outside Bitcoin. Okay, so the computation goes into BitVM and verification goes to Bitcoin Core. And so it looks like it's doing computation offline, and then that computation gets verified on Bitcoin Core. And it says Bitcoin check if solution is right or wrong. So it verifies if it's right or wrong. Second slide, how does it work? It says all computer programs are executed using logic gates: input, operation, output. They take bits as input, do a tiny operation, and then give out a new bit, 1 or 0, as output. Example, addition. So adding two binary digits requires a combination of and, or, and XOR gates. So then there's this little diagram here. It says more complex operations can be formed by combining logic gates. The most interesting gate is the in and gate, because using only and gates, you can build any other logic gate. Okay, so looks like with this in and gate, you can build any logic gate. It says why, and it says, and with that, I can build circuits to solve any math problem. Wow. Okay, so it looks like a lot of this is coming down to being able to do computations, right?
yeah,
Um, so let's move on. And it says, yes. Yes means you can compute anything in Bitcoin. And that's what BitVM does. And it says, so hold on a second, hold on. So it says, so if we found a way to represent a NAND gate using Bitcoin script language, this means, holy shit. BitVM uses hash locks, OP Boolean, and OP not to make in and gates work just as it should. Okay, so a lot of this is probably going to go over our audience's heads, which is
yeah,
because it's some of it's going over our heads too.
yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, so basically, let's see if there's a way. So why is this a big deal? By connecting these gates, you can do stuff complex like in computers. Okay, so then it says users now can play a computation game on Bitcoin. Okay, if one tries to cheat, the other can challenge directly on Bitcoin network. Okay, that's good. So you have provers and verifiers. That's a big deal to be able to do smart contracts, right? Or be able to do these transactions. It says BitVM unlocks any computation on Bitcoin without changing its core and gates and challenges. This is a high overview of BitVM, how BitVM does computation. We'll deep dive in the next post. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if that needs to be a higher uh breakdown than it was. But I feel like it like basically says, like it's able to do high level computations without changing the Bitcoin core, which is what you need to be able to create smart contracts and
yeah,
process them, right? Now, I have heard some stuff just looking on Twitter that, this is not like the solution for smart contracts, like the ultimate solution, because
yeah.
of the speed that this will all be done with.
It'll be super slow, super expensive. It'll be possible. Like smart contracts on Bitcoin is possible with this, but it might
Layer one,
not be.
two.
Yeah, it might not be the solution that we're looking for, but it's something to build on, right? It's something to it's just a start. I would love to get these guys on, the creators of this, if we can. So I'm gonna look
I
into
don't
that
even
this
know who it
week.
is.
Yeah, me either. I'll have to start digging around. But we're gonna definitely try to get somebody, maybe get somebody on to kind of explain more about this. But again, it's a it doesn't seem to me like a solution. It doesn't seem to me to be, a fix to a problem of not having smart contracts on Bitcoin, but it's a start.
Yeah. I think the possibility is what's probably getting people excited, because then you instantly think, okay, how can we scale this?
Yeah,
And then because if you can scale it, then it works, right?
100%.
Uh, Speed and cost, right? But I just don't think you're going to be able to do that because they're not going to change Bitcoin Core to make it cheaper or
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like maybe to them, it's like the miners don't want it to be cheaper. You know what I mean? On layer one, layer
yeah,
two, that's fine. Speed wise, yeah, I'm sure that everybody would be on board with that.
yeah,
And one thing too, if you think about the trilemma, it's you have to give something up to gain in the other two areas. It's like a triangle.
yeah,
You have the speed, you have the decentralization, and then you have the security,
yeah.
right? Definitely Bitcoin's never going to give up the security.
No,
They're never going to give up the decentralization.
no.
And so then you can't really increase the speed on layer one. On layer one.
Yeah. But
So
this
go ahead.
this module stuff,
But that's layer
is
two. But the way that they've done it,
yeah,
which so far in testnet is good in my opinion because
yeah. You're
it
right.
doesn't feel so much like layer two, and they're including these bridges in their application. So it's
Yeah,
not like I have to go to like multi bridge or what's it
yeah,
called?
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? And then bridge my assets over and then send them from the wallet to no, this is bridged directly on the application, directly on the
yeah.
swap,
You're right.
which to me, I think that makes a difference because if you can make it seamless, then
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, at the end
I
of the day,
agree.
like when we're doing stuff, we're waiting 3 confirmations anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
It's not
I
that big of a deal. A lot of times when I make a
exactly.
transaction, I do it at the end of my time, and I'll come back and my transaction's pay. So it's not
Yeah.
like, if you're doing something over here, it's not meant to be, we're on Bitcoin for the security, we're on Bitcoin for the decentralization, we're on Bitcoin for the liquidity. And all those things are make it okay to wait. So
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, I like the fact that they're bringing this to the table though, because maybe they're able to use some other approach. Hey, we never thought we'd have like an ordinals environment, like the
nope,
way it
not
is
at all.
now,
So
so never know.
and we're still, think of it, we're still 9 months from the first ever inscription, right? So it's that's super early. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, probably longer than that, just because I think he inscribed his the first thing in like December
yeah.
or,
Okay. Well, I meant like
but
when it really got going, but yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, cool. So we'll skip what's in the wallet. There hasn't been anything sent there. Just know that you guys can still send like any if you haven't. This is really best for like new projects because I feel like
Yeah, for sure.
you get exposure doing that. And then the wallet addresses are in the description. So yeah, you can always send there. And I think we're ready for the update unless you have anything
Let's do
else.
it. No, that's it for me.
All right, I'll go ahead and start with the BRC20 market update. All right. So obviously, Sats has really been under the spotlight because of the announcement with Unisat stating that they're using Sats for the gas token. It's going to be interesting to see if that mini layer two builds out an ecosystem further. But yeah, so Sats is down 2.28%. You can get 100 billion stats for $1,500. Man, it's
Damn.
crazy. Yeah, I remember it was like 780
Yeah.
like 5 days ago. Track has bounced back up 2.92%. Just got back down to like 30 cents, I think. It's at
Yeah.
32 cents now. Ordi is up 10.53%. $3.37. So I'm still bullish on Ordi, man. A couple people that seem to have been like they're OGs in the space and they've experienced the DeFi boom last time. They're saying that this is not financial advice, of course, never is on our show, but Ordi just maybe it's because it's that first is first thing,
Yeah,
but
that could be it.
yep. BAYC Board 8 Yacht Club token is up 4.83%, $11.83. Meme is up 1.37%. BTCS is up 1.69%. OXBT is up 8.82%. Man, this thing got down to like 29 sats, so it's a little
Yeah,
bit of a bounce back there. Oshi is even at 719,000 sats, sitting at $180 per. Zbit is up 5.93%. So Zbit is this, I think it's this like game token or something
yeah.
that was part of the BTC machines, I believe. I'm not 100% on that, but I think. The Bitcoin logo token. So this is the only token other than, okay, so X is in here. So these
X,
two are
yeah.
the only ones that are like the non-fungible like logo image tokens, but this is even. Punk is even. Council is at 0% even. Texo is 0% even. Oh my god. AVAC is at
Yeah.
0% even. Orpo is at 0% even. Pabs. I don't know what that is. Pabs Blue Ribbon? Pabs?
Yeah,
And
they're over in Ordinals now.
they're at 0% even. GVAT is at 0% even. Surga, SRGA is 0%. No volume, guys. Oh my god. CYMI is 0%.
Yep.
NYRA 0%. DRAC is up 1.3%. So this was definitely a meme token based off of the I believe at least.
VMPX.
Yeah, VMPX. Speaking of, what's up with your boy? I hear it seems like he's getting a little bit off his I don't know, maybe he needs to go visit the Looney House or something.
No, everything's fine with him, dude. Like, I think, they found out a way to do some stuff over there that you didn't think you would be able to do before. So I don't know. I think
Yeah,
everyone's still waiting for X1, and he's making X1 potentially a proof of work system. So it should be fun to see.
yeah. But I mean, like, are they focused on anything Bitcoin anymore?
So they gave VMPX space to Libra. So Libra's working
Really?
on the bridge. I mean,
So so
from my
so they don't.
understanding, they're helping with it, but Libra's really taking charge with the that bridge. So
So is it still under the Zen eco?
yeah, it'll still be a part. It's still part of the Nuns ecosystem. You still be able to burn it for X1 tokens, and the 333 launch and stuff like that. So Jack's name's on it, and I feel like he will keep keep his
Making
name on
sure.
it, and
Okay.
yeah, keep making sure it works properly. So, but like I said, they're not doing anything anytime soon. Like the market's down. There's no reason to drop any news right now until Bitcoin gets over 30K. So
Gotcha. Okay, so the X token, which is another non-fungible, is at even right now. And then Dozy is up 12.99%. So man, like, let's see. This is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen this volume drought the entire time we've been going over the update. 1, 2,
yeah,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
yep,
13. 13 out of the top 23 had zero volume in the last 24 hours. People are either waiting for their, um,
yeah.
waiting for the swap, or do you think some of these could be like the bot?
No, I don't think no. I
The
think there's just no value because there's nothing to do.
okay, yeah,
There's no
so there's
reason to
more.
buy things. So I don't know.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are definitely putting their funds in the popular
Yeah,
ones. Is what
yeah,
it seems like, and then waiting for the swap for some of these other meme ones.
exactly.
I think that
They
the
grab what they want already.
yeah, and I think some of these meme ones are gonna there's gonna be degens that play them, in my
Yeah,
opinion. But like, it's gonna be hard to pick. You can't pick like what a degen's thinking.
no,
You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Well,
but that
you can see on once we get this going, the swap going, you'll be able to see things on this.
volume.
Yeah, well, not just that, you can see the liquidity pairs,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's true. That's
And you
true.
can see which ones are growing, and that's how you'll know which ones to potentially get into. So I mean, we are what 4 days away from it going live, right? So,
Yeah.
and then 7, 8 days away from if it's going live to the public, right? So it'll be in the pre-stage, which we're really hoping to get that ordinal, so we'll be able to break it down video for you guys. If we are able to get that on Wednesday, we're gonna do a full video on that, an hour long, next
We might
Wednesday if we're
shoot.
able
Should
to
we
get
do a
that. So
live?
yeah, we can do it live.
We'll
Do it
decide.
live.
We'll
Yeah.
decide. We'll
We'll do our
decide.
market update on Wednesday, and then potentially, if you guys want to, hit us up in the comments. We can do a live right after, and then just dig into the Unisat stuff. You guys come in the comments and tell us what to do. So should be
Yeah.
fun.
You know, I'm curious as how like the beginning's gonna be because it's just gonna be like a group of users for mainnet live and you know, are they gonna degen? I don't think so. I mean, they're probably trying to set up liquidity pools and get the high APR or
The-
whatever that's gonna
yeah,
be
that's what it is. They're gonna go into the coins
established.
that that have a lot of holders, right? Because the more holders you have, I think that's something that I'm looking at right now. I'm going in and seeing which has the largest holder base, and that's what I'm gonna be trying to lock up my liquidity for because that's the tokens that we're gonna get traded because that's what they hold. Say if they hold a OXBT and they're like, oh wow, now I can finally get some sats that I wanted, and I don't got to do 2 transactions.
Exactly.
So that's the type of stuff that I'm gonna be watching for.
Yeah. Dude, I'm actually getting excited thinking about it because yeah, like Sats has 35,000 holders
Yep.
and like that's a safe liquidity pairing play in my opinion, not
Yep.
financial advice at all.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that is your
And
BRC20 market update.
the only problem with the liquidity pair, real quick, was is that if you're a Sats holder and you want something else, and there's a lot of liquidity for Sats and let's just say track, you're gonna be dumping your Sats to get track, right? Because you know, so it's just like, or if you want it like OXBT for what reason I don't know, but like you're gonna be dumping your Sats for that, right? So it's just
Ye-
like,
Also, we're gonna have to use Sats for gas too. Plus
yeah,
the Bitcoin fees. I wonder how that's gonna work if they're just gonna
I'm
include that.
excited. We'll find out. We'll find out, right? So
Yeah. But like obviously I've made it clear like I'm a Sats holder, but like I have
yeah,
to remember that like I can't like just hold all my Sats. I'm gonna probably get like a separate allocation of Sats because we gotta use it for gas, you know.
yeah.
So there's a
We'll
lot of
see how
things,
that
but
goes.
yeah, exactly.
All right, I will hop over to Magic Eden and I will show you guys what is going on the ordinal side of things. Ordinal Maxiba is sitting at 0.0219. Not really doing much. We're on the 7 day, about sitting right there for the last couple weeks, right? Very boring. Goosenals, number 2 spot in the 7 day, sitting at 0.002. Bitcoin Frog sitting at 0.01985. This is the first time under 0.02 that I remember for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Probably been so many updates at
For
sitting over
for
.02.
yeah, you're right. You're right. This is the first time it broke below, but I think we'll probably jump back up.
Yeah. We got rare sats. I kind of want to jump over to here for a few seconds. So if you wanted an uncommon, you'll be paying around. If you want uncommon, you'll be paying around 0.004. So that is a lot cheaper than what I paid. I think I paid 0.00. I want to say 55. So I
Yeah.
mean, if you want an uncommon,
Was yours a 2023?
it was 2022.
Okay.
No, it wasn't too far off though. But if you wanted a rare, paying about 4 Bitcoin, looks like there's nothing up here. It says floor right here.
Well, I think you have to
Yeah.
undo the uncommon.
Okay. Yep, that's probably what it is. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Sitting at
Hold on a second.
probably not
Is it also
4
a
Bitcoin.
palindrome? Is it also a palindrome? Go to the front. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. This one is not though. It's common sat, and then it's the rare
Dude,
first.
how rare is a rare palindrome?
I mean, yeah,
That's crazy
that's
to me. Unless it's the single number is the no, because the second one would be yeah. So I
yeah,
don't know. We gotta look further into that, but
yeah. So yeah, so these are the for a first transaction is 0.00075, block 78. I feel like in the bull market, dude, these things are gonna go fine, man. I really do.
even the
Really
lower
do.
ones.
I think that like you're gonna see a lot of ordinal projects, right? And they're not gonna want to build on common sets. They're gonna want to build on this type of stuff. So I just feel like imagine if every single NFT project that was on ETH needed some block 78s or block 9s or Nakamoto's. You know what I mean? How many projects there are? You
Yeah,
know, so it's just like I don't know, man. It might be a good idea to have a bag full of these just to hold of every
yeah.
single one of them, maybe just like a small bag, like $100 each or something, because you
I
don't know
have,
what that could become
yeah.
later.
I think everybody should have a strategy for this. This is not
Yeah,
financial advice, but like for me personally, I have a strategy for rare sats. And for me, I'm looking at history. That's what I'll say.
yeah,
History matters, and also trying to get as low circulation ones as possible that I can
yeah,
afford.
yeah, man. Let's hop back over to Magic Eden. Bitcoin Punk sitting at 0.0017. Keck MaxiBiz sitting at 0.008. The bitmap sitting at 0.00218. We'll just jump into this really quickly. Categories. If you wanted a 1-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around, what is it, 3? What the hell? I don't know what's going on with my thing today. You're by paying about 3 Bitcoin. If you
Whoa.
wanted a
Oh,
what's up?
single digit.
Single digit, yeah. If you wanted a 3-digit, I don't see the 2. The 2-digit is 0.15. If you wanted the 3-digit, you'll be paying around point, what is it? 3 digits. What is going on with the screen today? You're paying 0.015. If you wanted a 4-digit, you'll be paying around 0.003, which is about 40% higher than Florida. I'm interested in this 3, man. They're getting really cheap now, bro.
How much is the 3.015?
Yeah, man.
Huh. So
Oh,
that's cheaper than a no, that's about yeah, it's a little bit cheaper than a frog.
yeah. Yeah, a little cheaper than a frog, man. So definitely something that I like. Man, might have to do some shopping after this.
Yeah.
BTCD
What
guy
what
sitting at
once you're
point.
done with doing this, I put 2 links in the private chat for you to go over a little alpha in the for the Keck Maxi Biz, but continue
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
You can do it
definitely.
at the end.
Yeah, yeah. BTCD guy sitting at 0.35. BitApes by Bray AP Apple member sitting at 0.0041. So Sedorta shop. This is something new to me. Did you hear about this at all?
I saw this, but I didn't get it. Like,
I
what
don't know
are
what it
these
is.
going to be used for? Like players or something? Maybe I don't
Not
know.
really sure. New project though. I mean, they got some 35 million. 116 listed, 877 supply. Yeah, I don't really know. We'd love to
Looks
know
like
more about
in-game
that.
assets. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, see what that is. And then BTC Kings, a new project for me too as well. 0.00125. And haven't heard of these guys at all. Not a huge big fan of the art either. Kind of remind me of some other
The
stuff.
Ross
But
does a little bit, like the way
what
the
is it?
art is, just the
Yeah.
style of the art.
And we have something new from our friend Mr. BRC. He dropped
The
this yesterday. Did you
BRC.
see that at all?
Yeah, I did
So
see this. So
so these are like little costumes and stuff where you can put on your character.
is it? I thought it was
Yeah.
like you can build your own character
Oh,
using
maybe.
these parts by like if you just purchase one or something. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh,
Or you
wow.
can
If
use
that's the case, then.
recursion to be able to create them. You know what I mean?
So, oh,
But
that's dope.
I gotta get more information. We gotta get him on again too, just
Yeah,
so
we do.
maybe he can talk about this. But shout
There's
out
so
to
much
Mr.
since the
BRC.
last time we talked to him with the Nocturnal Town, with this stuff. Yeah, we'll definitely reach out to him, get him on again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So if
yeah,
you
so
could,
I will jump
yeah.
into those links.
So there's 2 ord.io links.
All right, what is this?
So this is a like special uncommons uh ordinal set based on Keck Maxi Biz. I think there's like 6 of them, and they're gonna be released during Christmas time, I
Oh
believe, the
wow.
holidays. But this is a little alpha for whoever is interested in Keck Maxi Biz. This is why I think like Keck Maxi Biz will be a legitimate derivative of OMB. I mean, they're on uncommons, bro. You know, and
Yeah.
so Like the art is sick to me. Like you can barely see the hair in the background, but like it's definitely different with the purple eyes. There hasn't been purple eyes, and if you look at the other one, it's basically just another design of that same style. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
big
don't know
fan of
what.
that. And then this
Yeah, I
one.
don't know what's gonna be the you know the how they determine who gets these, or if they're just gonna go for auction or what. But pretty sick looking.
Yeah. Here's the other one. Sorry.
Well, they look the same. Maybe you click the same link. Yeah, they're both.
Um.
Is this one 31?
Yeah. So yeah. So this one has the hair, right? This is
Oh, what is
64.
it? What does it say in the link? Yeah, yeah. No, click on the bottom one.
Oh, okay. I see it now. There it
Yeah,
is.
see, that one's different. That one's
Yeah,
different.
that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So yeah, they're both inscribed on uncommons. You can see there. So something pretty cool. Pretty cool. Just
Yeah,
wanted
that's
to
awesome.
showcase like some stuff,
Yeah, man.
and I think that's
All
it.
right. Yeah, so that's the show today, guys. We appreciate you watching, listening. If you cannot watch, you can definitely listen. We're on Spotify and Apple. Check us out there. We appreciate every single view, every single comment, every single like. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Yep, appreciate it, and just keep holding on. We're getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
So
So, oh yeah, we did have that news with what's your opinion on that before we end it out? So yesterday it came out with the basically Grayscale GBTC Trust can now be converted to an ETF.
yeah, so I think it's big news that they didn't appeal it, but you know, Gary Gensler never surprises me. He could probably
Yeah.
come out and, I don't know if this just puts Grayscale back at the end of the line now, or if they get rushed, I don't know.
See, I think that now that this is possible, they don't need an approval, right? So they can just do it now.
I mean, I don't
We
know.
we
I
could
got
have
to
an
look
ETF
further
by the end of
into
the
it.
month.
I mean, that would be
I mean,
great.
I think we could have an ETF by Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
Either way, it's good news in my opinion.
yeah, I agree. All right,
So,
guys.
all
Peace.
right. Peace.